Welcome everybody to the campus of USC upstate in South Carolina. And we are here for the Hub City Ball in part of the CRAA Fall Classic. It is Southern Virginia versus the U.S. Air Force Academy. I'm Alex Goff. I'm joined by U.S. Eagle Sam Gala. And Sam, this is a game we're thinking maybe a high-scoring one. What do you anticipating or hoping for?
I'm hoping for, an exciting day of rugby, exciting game, back and forth. A lot of points scored from each team, and as a forward myself, I want some physicality out there as well.
We're looking at Southern Virginia here, and we have a couple of keys for the game here in terms of what they want to do, and the coaches have said keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. I think they're going to be running it straight a lot. Maybe quick passes here and there, but it should be a simple game.
Right, take it up, carry hard, win that ball. And then with the Air Force Academy, they talked about starting on the front foot and then stick with that game plan. And how important is it to get that early start? Yeah, starting strong is really important, and carrying that momentum throughout the game is strong as well. So Air Force is going to need to focus to build that momentum and carry through to the end. A lot of big runners on this Southern Virginia team as they come out of their Rugby East schedule. Air Force, having played in the Rocky Mountain against such really tough teams as Colorado State and BYU. We are going to be back for a great game. We'll be back in a few minutes after these messages with the Hub City Bowl.
Rugby is a sport where teamwork truly makes the difference. In alignment with the values of rugby, Globant and Major League Rugby join forces in a powerful innovation scrum that aims to elevate the sport using the latest technologies. We are already co-creating digital solutions to impact the game, the fans, and the global community in a sustainable way. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
Whey protein is my favorite product. Best part about it is I can have it straight after a workout or a training session.
My favorite product is vitamin D. Back in DC, we practice a lot indoors, especially in winter, don't get a lot of sunlight, so having some vitamin D is important. We select Thorne because we know it's tested and it's safe to use.
Today's match is brought to you by 8x8 Sports, the presenting sponsor and official apparel partner of the College Rugby Association of America. 8x8 Sports, what champions wear. And all right, we are getting ready for the kickoff here, and they've tossed the coin. Looks like Southern Virginia will be receiving, and I'm joined by U.S. Eagle, former Cal All-American Sam Gala, Rugby East High School, Denver East High School.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yeah,
So,
East Angels.
Yeah, we go Angels.
Yep.
And so you'll be familiar somewhat with Air Force Academy, and
Yeah,
you know, might have caught a game or two. And
yeah, they're up in Colorado Springs.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
we are hoping for a good, fast-moving game, but we'll see a contrast of styles potentially as well. Air Force, one of the interesting things about this Air Force team, number of players who played rugby in high school on this team, 0.
Wow.
And the kickoff is there. We are underway. Southern Virginia controls it. Knocks it backwards, and big hard runner just to see how they'll set up their exit and go to the boot, but they were passing that back inside the 22. Had to keep that in the field of play.
Strong hit there.
And here comes the run from Air Force, and yes, strong hits from there. Good,
strong carry.
Good carry through. And Air Force looking to send it wide. Send it through the hands of Norris. And picked up, but there's just a little bit of a knock on. David Wright trying to take it up, and he was tackled. And a knock on and scrum for Southern Virginia. So already we see an intent to go wide from Air Force.
Yeah, no, the first scrum of the game is going to be really important to set the tone for both teams as well. Kind of get their feet in the ground, work out the kinks, and, you know, play from a strong base.
And we perhaps see a little bit of a pecking order, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Who is feeling good when it comes to pack down time? And putting it in for Southern Virginia, Joshua Hill-Garvin. Scrum half, and he gets that out. Good, solid scrum from SVU. Isaiah, long kick down, gathered there by Frick. Now they try to pass it inside, but Southern Virginia swarming in, and they've turned it over quickly, moving the ball to the left. Hill-Garvin again digs it out, looks to use Falpusa, and through they go again. The tackles are there, but the momentum is there for Southern Virginia. Penalty, diving onto the ball, and a quick tap from Southern Virginia. Here we go. Felatoa, Sky Felatoa, he's a youngster out of Utah. Memot, and once again going with the big carriers to the line, just short of the line. Somebody running into the goalposts. Those getting a little bit of a shake. And it slows down. SVU trying to get it over. The ball ending up in Falpusa's hands. Andy Falpusa. And we do have a try. He caught that a little bit high. We talk about body height. That was like the worst body height possible.
Yeah, no, I thought it slipped out there for a second, but, you know, Virginia stayed disciplined in their red zone right by the 5, and, you know, they did a great job of getting that ball over the try line. So
ball squirts back into Andy Falpusa's hands, and that is a 5-0 lead for Southern Virginia. And while we talk about that SVU wins have been hard to come by in Rugby East, we've seen this before. The Rugby East is tough games every week. And Sam, I mean, you know this. Nobody wants to win games by 100 points all the time. Nobody wants to lose games by 100 points. But tough games every week makes you a better player.
It does. You know, it breeds competitiveness. And that's something that has been happening with the MLR as well. Yeah. Closer and closer score lines. And that's what we want to see. It's better for the fans, better for the players, and it grows the game and makes them more competitive.
And Southern Virginia ready to show what they've learned playing the likes of Queens and Life University. And the kick is up.
And it's good.
And it's good. Nicely taken. Zachary Jones.
Zachary Jones studying business in Virginia.
And he's got some very glowy blue boots as well. Yeah. But nicely put up by Jones. 7-0 SVU leads. And we saw how just that quick little dive through.
Yeah. It's really important on the line to look for those gaps right around the line and staying patient.
And the kickoff, Southern Virginia keeps that ball. They get a lot of bodies over that ball. Oh, a little no-look, tips pass, and another one. And they are moving that ball back and forth. Memot in the middle of all of that, as was Jones. Picked up and passed out by Howard. Big, powerful run ahead again. That was Falpusa. Loose ball out the back. Naivalu going into contact. Again with an extra pass. Key keeps His head low. Was he held in the tackle? I guess not. He gets up, does another one. A little bit of extras there with Felatoa, an extra little drive, but it is a turnover for Air Force, and they're going to go wide. We talked about this. Staub trying to link up with the backs. Once again through Hume. Loose pass. Bodies flying all over the place as they are on the left wing.
Virginia causing a lot of disruption in Air Force's attack and actually wins the turnover.
And once again, Southern Virginia. A pass through Felatoa, who's the freshman out of Utah high schools. A good high tackle, a stand-up tackle. Malum working his way out of contact, but maybe the turnover? No. It's going to be a knock-on by Air Force, but we're also seeing players are working to get that turnover almost every time.
Yeah, it's competitive at the breakdown today, that's for sure.
When you come into that breakdown as a flanker, what are you thinking about? What are your key thoughts?
Key thoughts is protect the ball first. You don't want to kick it, and then you want to make sure you get that guy off the ball as quickly as possible. And from there, maybe potentially driving him past the ruck if you have support behind you. That kind of stops that defensive fold. So it's a brutal part of the game, and you know these teams are doing great at it today.
Hill Garvin digs it out. Gets it to Isaiah. A long, wide pass. Didn't really go too far, but Jones able to get that high ball and chase it down. Retained by Air Force. Here we are, stuck in the middle of the field. Neither team wanting to give an inch. Big hit there. Once again, Air Force forwards. Working it in tight. And then now we go to the boot. The chase down from Taylor. Taylor looking for it. Jones has it. Oh, he puts on a move. He's got some space. Boot to ball again. Who's under it? Nicely taken there by Anderson. Anderson beats one. Taken down by another. But he does have his players with him to get over it. Hume serving as halfback. And that just sort of landed in the hands of Beasley. Beasley still with it, but they're going to call that back and say that was a knock forward.
Yeah, I think it was just a quick pass through the hands, and one of the players kind of tapped it forward to get it to the guy on the edge.
And Sam, in the previous game, we didn't see a lot of kicking in open play. Here we've seen a little bit more, and we probably will do.
Yeah.
The players that aren't kicking the ball, what are some of the things they're concerned about, like being offside?
Yeah, and on top of that, when the kick happens, you know, making sure they get that chase, they're on sides, and they're connected with their teammates. Simple as.
And yeah, you know, we talk about the fractured field.
Yeah.
And if the chases, some are up and some are back, and then suddenly someone like Jones can weave their way through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Joshua Hill Garvin getting ready to put the ball in. Wants to be a firefighter when he graduates. Deal with those forest fires out west.
Yeah.
Isaiah getting out wide to Jones. Jones, and he's got man with him on the inside. The ball is loose. Referee says play on, no knock there. Once again, digging it out. Isaiah dragged down. Advantage to SVU. Air Force might have been a shade offside there.
Strong carry.
Roko Tuivawa coming in. And now just slowing it down a little bit, SVU. Here we go. Velatoa drops it off to Fapusa. Ball comes back, and a penalty against Air Force. So now we go back to the previous penalty. And not releasing the tackled player. Oh, high tackle. High tackle. Seen a lot of signals.
Yeah.
Several signals on that one. High tackle. And this is a part of the game that's been interesting to me the last year or so. The idea you want to tackle in such a way to tie up the ball.
Yeah, you want to slow that ball down.
But it's a high tackle.
It depends. If you get too high or you slip up, it is a high tackle. At the same time, you want to. The point of the defense is to slow that ball down.
Right.
You know, and get that ball, maybe even produce a turnover.
And so that's a delicate dance, right?
It is.
You don't want to slip up. You got to control yourself.
Sometimes you're playing with fire.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And as we get the line out for SVU, a really nice attacking chance for them. Well taken. And they set up the maul. The drive is on. And out it comes. Isaiah looking for an inside pass. Was that ball knocked forward or just held on to? The Knights getting close to the Zoomies line. Once again, keeping it in tight. And it's a turnover. Air Force has it. Not being too careful with the ball as SVU needed to keep that one. And Air Force able to clear, but really not much of a relief of pressure.
Yeah, it's a hard place to be in. You know, Virginia got down to the tri-zone and turned it over, but Air Force still needs to get a good exit in. You know, they didn't get much territory on that kick, so Virginia gets the ball back.
Air Force will be looking perhaps to steal this one. And another line out. And yes,
steal.
They did manage to steal it, get their front jumper up. And now they've got to fight for territory. Pushed way back near their try line. Good carry from the Air Force big men. And now Seals gets it back to Hume. Hume, a big driving kick rolling around at midfield, but it is still in the field of play. Zachary Jones, another chip ahead. He's dangerous. Regathered by SVU. I don't know about keep it simple for SVU. I think they've kept it a little bit like razzle dazzle.
Oh yeah, they've been explosive. That was a great heads-up play right there. Chip kick over and the recover. It was a great job.
Well, we go back to another penalty and probably another kick to touch. Or are we going to tap and run this time? No. Kick to touch. They'll work on that line out and perhaps the drive once more.
Yeah, probably so close to the try line, set up a good drive. I don't know if Air Force will contest. The goal is to stop the maul right here.
And worry less about the throw and more about the maul. I know they do go up, and the drive is there, and right out of the back, and right through. Try SVU. Right off the training paddock. That play, everybody thinking they were going to drive, and then they just popped it off the bat.
Yeah, it's a heads-up play. They suck all the forwards in for the maul, pop it to the two running around, and he gets in over the line. Weston Mehmet.
Weston Mehmet, who is new to the game in college, didn't play in high school, even though he's from Utah, and you think that they usually bring them in, but a wrestling and football crossover, and a bit of a lifter.
Yeah, wrestlers are great crossover athletes for rugby. Just the tackle technique and the work rate as well. And his favorite player is Sam Kane.
So okay, so he's a bit of a student of the game now. He's been looking at things and see what he likes.
A number 2 for a flanker. You know, I respect that.
Yes.
Good man.
Well, that is a nicely executed try for SVU. And we'll have a look at the replay right after the conversion attempt from Jones. But SVU's got to be feeling pretty good about the pressure they put on Air Force at this time.
Yeah, they've won the momentum battle in the first 15 minutes. So let's see how they keep the foot on the gas for the rest of the game.
And the kick is up and drops down a little bit to the left. So that's a miss. And we are at 12-0. Southern Virginia leads the Air Force Academy early in this game. Now, we've only been about 15 minutes in, but here we see this play. And Sam, take us through it.
Yeah, so they throw it to the front, fake the maul, and they catch the number 2, Mehmet, peeling around. And Air Force is just so focused on defending that maul that it really just draws the defenders. He sees a gap, takes it, and scores.
Nicely done, and SVU retains that restart kickoff, and back they go once again, using their powerful runners and then thinking to go wide. There is some overlap there. Malum going in, tackled nicely by Beasley. The tips pass there by Lee, and a little chip over the top. And this might be Air Force's bread and butter right here. Good weaving run. They do like to run with it. That's all those Air Force people, they like speed.
Yeah.
Something about that.
Yeah, something's there. Jet fuel.
And yes, we are jet fueled as we go through. Good, strong carry from Michael Moritz. But that is brought back. That was a knock-on, and we have a penalty instead. We go back to the original penalty against Southern Virginia. And Griffin Anderson will kick to touch, trying to get that angle, get that line out as far into the 22 as possible.
Yeah, a bit far out to Maul, so I'm expecting off the top, get out to the backs, shift it wide. I believe this is the first lineup for Air Force.
And they are actually going to drive it.
There you go. A strong Maul.
A little bit isolated, but they're able to get that back. Dug out by Seals. Once again, going with the big drivers like Schlunt. Hume sends it wide. There's an opportunity, and there it is. A delay pass out to Will Frick. And the winger coming in from Tucson, Arizona, wants to be a pilot, loves Serge Blanco, scores a try for Air Force.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play by Frick. He saw the gap. Southern Virginia's defender left his inside man too early, and he took it through and scored the points.
I'll have to correct myself. It's actually, I believe, pronounced it Fricky.
Fricky.
Not Frick. That's my fault. And apparently he was the top-ranked athletic student in the class of 2025. So there you've got an outstanding athlete at the Air Force Academy, which is a place where it takes something to be the best athlete there.
And he does carpentry. I did a little wood shop in high school.
You did?
I did.
Make anything good?
I made some skateboards, cutting boards.
Oh, I like that.
Stuff for my mom.
That's good. Well, you got to make something for your mom. Absolutely, it's the rule. Griffin Anderson lining up this kick. It's up, and it is good. An important try, I think, for Air Force as we perhaps have a look at the replay to get some momentum back after giving up those 2-1s. And let's have a look at this play to get that try. And just nicely dished off from Cole Morris to Fricky, and in for the try. 12-7 now. Air Force back in it. And we are stopping for a hydration break here in the middle of the first half, and we're going to take a break as well, and we will be back for the rest of this Hub City Bowl here in South Carolina.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening to the ball.
Gilbert is synonymous with every major event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put a tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball. speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.
Whey protein is my favorite product. Best part about it is I can have it straight after a workout or a training session.
My favorite product is vitamin D. Back in DC, we practice a lot indoors, especially in winter, don't get a lot of sunlight, so having some vitamin D is important. We select Thorne because we know it's tested and it's safe to use.
USA Rugby is proud to partner with the College Rugby Association of America for the 2024 to 2025 academic year. With future USA Eagles taking the pitch today, we are pleased to support this experience for all student athletes. Learn more about the USA Eagles and how you can get involved with USA Rugby at usa.rugby. All right, well, after that try by Air Force to get themselves back in, we have the restart. We had a little hydration break, and yes, it is cold, but it is very dry here, so the hydration break is needed. Not secured is that restart by Air Force, and Southern Virginia swarms right in. Turnover, but no penalty, not releasing the tackle player, and SVU can get that momentum right back.
That was a fantastic kick. Put a lot of pressure on Air Force to put a man in the air. That's one of the hardest things to do, is catch those balls, and SVU get it back.
And Melipone Isaiah kicks to touch to set up that line out. Psychology major from Portland, Oregon. And Mehmet ready to throw it in. Once again disrupted though by Air Force. Not cleanly, but they do have a chance to get out of trouble. Air Force really targeting that.
Aiden Beasley has been a menace at the front of that line out, disrupting Virginia all day. I'm excited to see how many more steals he gets throughout this game.
And a good charge. Trying to get a little bit more distance. That was that kick on a tough angle, landed just next to the sideline, but bounced infield. Jones now, all kinds of options, sends the pass out to David Roko-Tuiviwa, but he's unable to keep the handle, and Air Force will take that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They were under pressure there. So was Virginia to make something happen, but they got out of there jail-free.
And with a scrum just in about 10 meters inside their half, Air Force now looking at what options they have. Split their backs. Is this an attacking opportunity?
This is an exit opportunity, in my opinion. They're going to be using the scrum, get it to the 10, and they're going to want to kick this ball out. Or play.
Or they play it. Well, why
and they
not?
do.
Let's go. Will Taylor looking for support. He has it with Cole Norris. Norris is taken down quickly. Hume now doesn't want to go with the front row runners. He's looking for Tom Kensinger. Kensinger gets his way into the 22. Hume, once again, bit of a keeper. Dishes it to Caleb Fish. Fish still running. Or was that Beasley? And back out, quick hands. Onto the edge. Is that a try for Air Force?
And it is.
And touch judge flag goes up just as he's rolling over. But that was from
fantastic.
From their deep in their half, almost to scoring a try within just a few seconds.
Yeah, I think they noticed that Virginia was expecting them to exit. Shipped it wide off the scrum, saw a man, and then Will Taylor took it down the edge.
Overthrow, I think on purpose. Felatoa gets it, very well taken by the first year. And back Isaiah The kick does not find touch. And we're looking at Fricke. And that pass, we would call that a loose pass. And now Norris feeding Figard. Figard. Picked up again, this time by the fullback, Anderson. Everybody getting involved. Once again, that short flat pass to Kensinger. Big, powerful runner. SVU not happy about being unable to poach that ball. Hume keeping it. Oh, it just squirts out. And there, a little bit of freedom. Schlund, Ethan Schlund, going in from 20 meters. No, that was number 8. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your eyesight's better than mine. Cody Lambert, the number 8, out there in the back line, saw the gap, and he's in for a try.
And we are tied up. Like we said, back and forth. It's what we wanted.
That's exactly what we wanted.
That was a great play from Cody Lambert. Opening.
But back and forth and quick ball from Air Force. They were able to, and a couple of little risky ones. They talk about those 50-50 passes. Hume, I think, really did send out a 50-50 pass, but it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, it all, in my opinion, started with that run from Taylor. Put Virginia in pressure to exit. Gave a bad kick right back to Air Force, and Air Force just kept the pressure on. And when you do that, gaps are going to open up. They shipped it wide, and Lambert took it in.
How important is it in, you have a situation where you think you're going to score, and you don't. But, like you said, a bad clearance kick or some other thing could keep that pressure going. So to not sit there and go, oh, I can't believe we didn't score there.
You'd rather play rugby in someone else's half than your own.
Yeah. And that kick is good. Fantastic kick from Anderson.
Air Force takes the lead.
Yeah, after all that, and then as we watch this come back, and Lambert's, it's that ball squirting out, and
it's a great move too. 2 defenders beaten.
And the
great
matchup,
play.
8 versus 8.
Yeah.
And that's all right. He'll take that.
You want to win those matchups. When I was at Cal, Jack Clark always would put your number against theirs and say, win this matchup, you win the game. So.
One of my bugaboos, restart errors. You give up. It's worse in 7s, but in 15 still, a restart error. Now this is a scrum center, all kinds of things.
Yeah, you got to get that kick past 10.
Yeah.
It's a center field scrum for Air Force. They just scored off of a center field scrum in their half. It's clear they're dangerous here. So, Virginia just needs to be a little bit more disciplined in that aspect of the game.
Got about 15 minutes left in this first half. It has been a fun back and forth game. 2 slightly different styles. And once again, Isaiah Seals digs it out, but a problem in that scrum. Did you see something there, Sam?
I saw a lot of power from Virginia. They put Air Force under pressure, and I believe it might have been. There was some type of penalty towards the end there, I think.
And it seemed like they disintegrated a little bit.
They did. They just put Air Force under pressure. One of the front rows made a mistake. Air Force loses the ball. They lose the advantage, and Virginia gets the play.
Southern Virginia tap and go. They're in the middle of the field. They didn't want to risk missing touch, so they just tapped and ran with it, and why not?
Yeah.
Powerful runners once again, just getting that ball moving.
They do have a lot of strong carriers on Virginia. So playing up the middle, running it straight with those pods, seems to be working, and they're gaining yards. That was a great
yards
run
after contact. Andy Falpusa, yeah. Just a powerful runner. And once again, the offload. There's another one. Getting close. Southern Virginia still just testing. Falpusa again. And now Hill Garvin maybe looking to go wider. Not the best service, the ball rolling around. Air Force is going to take that away. And maybe that was the keep it simple part, because they didn't need to do much more than continue what they were doing before. And the wide pass.
Yeah, when you get into that type of game where you're hitting those gaps and using the momentum, you have to be very disciplined with that ball. And from what I saw, they were making the yards with those pick and goes. They should have stayed there with the forwards. Instead, I believe they forced that pass out, and they just forced an error. Again, great pressure from Air Force as well.
Pressure that they needed to exert.
Yes.
As they were backed up, but now once again a scrum for Air Force. They gave up a penalty in that last scrum. They were pushed a little bit hard, so they're going to have to tighten up, hold on to win that ball. Quick ball has been the order of the day for Air Force, and they get that. Hume now with options. Norris sends it wide. Taylor. Not enough resources over that ruck, maybe. No, they're able to get there. Fricky with his head bandaged up now. Back we go again. Guess what? Kensinger passes it off this time. Loose ball.
Virginia with the steal.
SVU has taken it, and then they lost it again.
Back and forth.
Back and forth. Everything is happening on what a terrific,
amazing kick.
Terrific clearance kick. I'm not sure whether that, I believe that was Griffin Anderson, but that one from his own try line gets it almost to midfield.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want out of the kickers on your team, especially as a forward. Get it out, stop playing defense, turnover, and get some territory.
Couple of late additions to this lineup. This is a big lineout from SVU.
It's a full lineup.
Don't see that too often. And
good throw from Nemeth.
Hilgarvin sends it wide, and a cutback run. Kind of a set play from SVU. Trying to stretch that defense one way and then bring it back, using Finn Bradshaw, but now they go wide. Isaiah taken down, but they're there. Guess what? It's Faupusa again. Cuts back, looks in that interior channel, tries to force more than one to tackle him. Howard. Now Hilgarvin looking to use Bradshaw. And a ball just left behind, but he's able to pick it up, and that one's lost forward by Isaiah. And those offloads are there.
They're there. They just need to be executed. And right there, you know, too many offloads each way, and the ref just had to call that and set the scrum.
I talked to the head coach for Southern Virginia, Marshall Ferris. He coaches with his cousin Aiden Ferris, and you might recognize that name. Adrian Ferris is Marshall's dad and coached at Life West, and Devereaux Ferris played for the USA national team. That's his brother. And he's the one who said, we got to keep it simple. We've got to go. And we see that less simple things are happening, and a few more mistakes creeping in.
You don't want to overcomplicate the game. You know, it's quite simple. And I think Air Force has been playing a pretty solid game, the same with Virginia.
Hume sends it out. Fricky cuts back inside. Ooh, he does have some pace, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Nice offload. Quick ball for Air Force. Once again, Lambert, I believe, in that one. Supported by Kensinger. That's your big man pod there, but he is driven into touch. Very well driven into touch. Quick line out for SVU. Referee's going to bring that back and say no. Now, can you explain that for us, Sam, in terms of the line out? When can you get a quick one, and when do you set it? Or is it just at the whim of the referee?
I usually is at the whim of the referee. It also is like the coverage as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're able to play and there's no one on Air Force set in that line, then you can play.
So once somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I'm expecting a line out here,"
yeah,
right, then we can't do it quickly. Well, we are taking a pause there as a player is down.
Braden Lee, I believe.
Braden Lee,
Lock.
yeah, just in a little bit of discomfort as the players come together and just wait for that. And here we are, 14-12, Air Force leading. And we had this torrid back and forth a little bit now. 8 minutes left in the first half. It slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Defenses sort of perhaps understand what each other's trying to do.
Yeah, Air Force is seeing that Virginia's going to be running it straight at those gaps closer to the ruck, and Virginia's noticing that Air Force likes to play off those scrums and go wide. So, you know, teams are kind of just getting a feel. That's what the first half is all about. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more new stuff in the second half.
And Braden Lee is staying in the game after just a little bit of discussion with the trainer. The trainer's been very good to get out there very quickly in these games, which is terrific to see.
Yeah, the most important people on the field.
Yes, yes. Weston Mehmet, try scorer, throwing in the line out for SVU. That one takes a little bit of a sail off, and it is nabbed by Air Force.
A great read by Schlunt.
Ethan Schlunt just powers through, quite happy to take it, but as often happens, because he was there, he was isolated.
Yes.
And somebody went over the ball. Frustrating when that happens.
It is. You know, Air Force, they had a great opportunity. He just needs more support off that. And again, when those once in a moment things happen, you need more support, and he just didn't have it.
Is there something he could have done to help that out? Or?
I personally, you got to hold that ball a little bit longer while you're on the ground, and then once you have support, then you do the lurch back. Once you do that lurch back and release that ball, you know, it's a lot easier for teams to grab it, or stay on your feet a little bit longer.
Yep.
Gives your guys time to hit that ruck, and, you know, just secure that ball.
The timing of that ball placement.
It's everything.
Yeah, so to do it as they're reaching for it, so you can maybe power through that.
Yeah, and the timing of it just gets more and more short in the higher level you go. It's reading your carry, it's reading the defense, and figuring out when you put it back, but you have to at some time.
Right.
So,
and some referees want you to do it faster.
Yeah, some referees, you know, you also have to read the ref.
Yeah. Well, from that penalty, the kick to touch, midfield now with the line out. Lineouts have been common in this game. Quite a few. Oh, they went short. Everybody up in the air, and they went short to Faupusa.
Faupusa's been around the park all day. You know, he has a great work rate. I'm excited to see how his game develops in the years to come.
And they have lost it. Air Force is taking it back. And now trying to set something up with Hume. Hume goes past the forward pods, and there is a breakthrough
from
Cole Norris.
Yeah.
Cole Norris lining up as sort of an inside center, but wearing 13. Quickly packed up. What a great break from Norris. Biology major who wants to become a pilot. That's a shocker. Somebody at the Air Force Academy wants to be a pilot.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
And now just consolidating his Air Force, trying to slow it down just to make sure that they get good possession. A little bit of patience is needed on both sides of the ball here. You see how Southern Virginia is really stacked around this breakdown.
Patience is key here from Air Force, and discipline, as well as Virginia. Virginia needs to stay on side, but make those tackles and can't give them any yards.
And out wide they go to the prop, David Wright. Wright scampers through, and he is in for the try. And Air Force, that's the second try they have produced that's seemingly out of nothing.
Yeah, that was great. You know, again, they played simple ball. They had a turnover, shipped it wide, saw a gap, and then from there they were just patient. And then once they sucked some forwards in on the pick and goes, they popped it to a hard runner straight into the line. It was great rugby from Air Force.
I think that was very interesting to see how they were so quick to go wide and then suddenly closed it down.
It's important once you get a turnover to get that ball through the hands.
Yeah.
You know, move that ball, put the defense under pressure, because they were just set into an attack formation. You know, they're vulnerable. Most points in rugby come off of the turnover. So Air Force has been taking advantage of that all game.
And Air Force now at 19-12. And again with the conversion attempt from Griffin Anderson. He puts it up, and he is 3 for 3, setting up a 21-12 lead for Air Force over Southern Virginia, having fallen behind 12-0. And we'll have a look at this. And Sam, what are you seeing here at this run?
The defender came up and he saw a gap. The defensive line wasn't set, and he takes it, and then from here Air Force plays a slow ball. They have these forwards consolidated, and they just take it to a hard runner, sees a gap, and he's over the line. Simple rugby done right, and they capitalize on Virginia's mistake.
And Air Force will be happy with that one. Hume, just dances around a little bit, not held in the tackle. He's able to get back up. He sort of fell over. So Air Force sticks with it. Beasley. And then lining up for the box kick from Isaiah Seals.
Great kick.
And that one lands right in front of the 22. Jones has trouble with it. The chase is on. Taylor looking to perhaps take him down. Back to Beasley. Beasley's going to truck it up, I think. Which he did, but there's a penalty against Southern Virginia there, and that was not retreating on the kick, I believe. And you have to make an effort to start going back. I've seen a few games where they are walking about as slowly as anybody can walk, but
you have to make an effort.
You have to make an effort.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you're a big boy running coast to coast like this game has been, you try and catch your rest where you can. It's just
right. You're making me do what? Right, change direction again. This has put Air Force on the front foot, and it was interesting talking about the keys to the game. They wanted to start strong. They actually fell behind 12-0, but get on the front foot there, and that throw is not straight.
Yeah.
And we will go probably for, well, we'll see. Scrum or line out is the option. It'll be a scrum for Southern Virginia.
Yeah.
Not really a surprise there.
Yeah, they've had a strong scrum all day, and Beasley's just been putting pressure at the line out. So obvious choice from Virginia here. Yeah, on that line out, they just jumped into the tunnel. You can't do that. Got to jump up straight and make sure that number 2 is getting a straight throw through, produce a good ball.
Air Force Academy, all 3 service academies have now won a major national championship, and Air Force Academy was the first one on the men's side, 2003, when in the semifinals, in fact, they upset Cal, which was, at the time, one of the more shocking games. But in recent years, Navy and Army, which are school-supported varsity teams, they've won. Air Force Academy remains not a varsity program, and so that's why you have every single player on this team that's here learned the game at Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Deep kick and well chased by Southern Virginia. They get the penalty and they tap quickly. And the tap's in the wrong spot. They're going to have to take that back. But a good response back. Meanwhile, we have a player getting some attention from one of his teammates, in fact. A little bit of folk doctoring from one of his teammates. But they kicked to touch, and the line-out issue remains a question for Southern Virginia. They've gone short the last time. They've won a couple. They've gone long, but they are having trouble at that front pod.
They really are. They got to get in front of Beasley, in my opinion. He keeps taking the ball. It's easy for him to read it.
And that one,
right there, he took it, but they ended up recovering it still.
And Southern Virginia burst through. They are able to take that, and they're sending their big bodies down the short side on the right. Penalty, diving onto the ball, tapped quickly. They want to press that advantage. Where's the offload? There is no offload. but quickly out. Once again, Isaiah looking to work with Jones. Jones, nice pass back inside. Slow ball coming from, but Isaiah picks it up while they're all pretending to talk about it. To the line, about 4 meters away now. Once again, the pick up and go. Slow going. Close in work is what they need. Patience is needed for Southern Virginia. Oh, once again, a pick up and just they stay so low.
Yeah. Air Force is doing good defense here. Really sacrificing bodies to stop Virginia's big boys from getting over the line.
And it is a battle for sure. Trying to predict which way they're going to go. And now they go a little bit wider. The ball kind of squirted to the side and up quickly. Good line speed from Air Force. The tackle made, but still, Southern Virginia has the ball in the middle of the 22. And here we have another penalty. And a little bit of a talking to. Referee is going to say probably red zone penalties, watch it.
Yeah, you know, it gets tricky at the line. You know, you get a lot of no wrap hits just because of how low players get and how close they are to the line. You don't want giving them any yards, and I believe that is what just happened with number 7 there. Was that number 7?
Amon Key is going to tap it. I know they do a little thing. It's actually a fairly popular move there to pretend to tap it and move over. Once again, Isaiah looking to use his runners. Roker Tuiviwa goes in to contact. Ooh, player slips over. Still, Air Force hanging on. Close to the line and he's over. Finally, Southern Virginia gets that. It took many phases, but so much patience, and they did well.
Yeah, that was fantastic from Virginia. I mean, put pressure on, forced a penalty as well. Now they're a man up going into the next half. And, you know, they scored a try to finish the half, you know, so they finished strong, and that gave them some momentum going into the next 40 here.
It's very big to be able to score right before halftime.
Yeah. Especially when you're down. That's the goal. That's always the goal before you end the half.
Zachary Jones lining up, hoping to make this a 2-point game with a conversion here. That'll just inch his team that much closer. It will be halftime after this conversion, as we're looking at the Southern Virginia players are all going off to the sideline. But what a game we've had, back and forth. 2 early tries from Southern Virginia, and then the explosive attack from Air Force to come back with 3 converted tries. Tries from Lambert, Fricky, and Wright. And here, as Jones puts the ball up, and it is good. We are at 21-19, and we are at halftime. And this has been a fabulous, entertaining bowl game. The Hub City Bowl here at the campus of University of South Carolina, upstate. And we are going to have a lot more great rugby here. I'm Alex Goff with Sam Gala, and we'll be back after this.
Rugby is a sport where teamwork truly makes the difference. In alignment with the values of rugby, Globant and Major League Rugby join forces in a powerful innovation scrum that aims to elevate the sport using the latest technologies. We are already co-creating digital solutions to impact the game, the fans, and the global community in a sustainable way. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
It's time to hit.
It's time to pass.
It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood.
It's rugby time, America.
It's rugby time, America.
Pickle Juice, the official hydration partner of the College Rugby Association of America. Pickle Juice is proven to stop and prevent muscle cramps. Get the edge you need to finish.
Where teamwork truly makes the difference. In alignment with the values of rugby, Globant and Major League Rugby join forces in a powerful innovation scrum that aims to elevate the sport using the latest technologies. We are already co-creating digital solutions to impact the game, the fans, and the global community in a sustainable way. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
I have to say my favorite Thorne product is creatine, white protein, vitamin D, super EPA, fish oil pills.
I chose to take Thorne supplements over another brand because they're sports backed.
We know it's tested and it's safe to use.
There's a wide variety of benefits that range from sports performance to neurological benefits. I know it helps me increase my lifting capacity.
That they're third-party tested, that they're NSF certified.
And they also taste great, so that's why I choose Thorne.
With the right plan, the right team, and hard work, even the most unpredictable events can be overcome. At USI, you have the whole team on your side, protecting you from the unexpected and making sure you bounce back better than ever. We take the time to understand your concerns and provide solutions with customized game plans for you and your business. It's Major League focus and results for you, and we call it the USI One Advantage.
It's time to hit.
It's time to pass.
It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood.
It's rugby time, America.
It's rugby time, America.
Fans, One Spartanburg, the official Fall Classic planning partner of the College Rugby Association of America. Whether you're looking for business resources, economic opportunities, community leadership, or tourism info, One Spartanburg is where you will find it. All right, well, we've had a great game here so far. Halftime, 21-19, Air Force over Southern Virginia this game. And we've had some great plays. Sam, what have you been seeing?
I mean, I've been seeing some great rugby. Virginia's been busting it up the middle. That's what I see here. You know, they've been picking and going, getting over the line, especially number 1, Andy Fapusa. He got that try, the first one to start Virginia off. Just hard-nosed rugby from them. Here as well, the peel around from the number 2, Weston Mehmet. That was a heads-up play as well. Air Force was expecting them all, and they just stretched him. But here, Air Force has been playing sideline to sideline rugby, you know. 14, Will Fricky gets through, spreads the defenders, really. You see that energy from Air Force there. And then here, Air Force had that heads-up play, gone to their territory, and just punched it through. So they did a great job.
And then one more answer later from Southern Virginia. And so it's a 2-point game. So much more to come. We'll be back in a few.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening to the ball.
Gilbert is synonymous with every major event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put a tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball, speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.
Whey protein is my favorite product. Best part about it is I can have it straight after a workout or a training session.
My favorite product is vitamin D. Back in DC, we practice a lot indoors, especially in winter, don't get a lot of sunlight, so having some vitamin D is important. We select Thorne because we know it's tested and it's safe to use.
Well, we are back getting ready for the second half here at the Hub City Bowl. This is the second game of a 7-game slate at the CRAA Fall Classic here in Spartanburg, South Carolina at the campus of USC Upstate. And I'm Alex Goff with Sam Gala. It's been great to work with you. This is the first time we've been working together. Actually, the first time you've been doing this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm
a rookie.
You're a rookie. You seem like a natural. It seems like you've secretly been practicing or something, maybe in your basement. We don't know. How is what have you been up to? Tell people what you've been doing as a player, playing with Anthem. And
yeah. So I mean, left Dallas. I'm in North Carolina now. Going to be playing for Charlotte Anthem, and getting healthy to playing some international matches as well next year. So
fantastic, a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
And the kickoff is good from Southern Virginia. Kicked back, and the ball is kind of a wonky kick, but as we point out, it's a funny shaped ball, this rugby ball, and it bounces around and sometimes very difficult to pick up.
The most humbling thing is picking up a rolling rugby ball.
Yes.
You know.
And especially with cold hands. And we have seen it is chilly, although the sun is here right now, and we are basking in its embrace, and that'll be nice. But as the day goes on, as the sun goes down, it will be chilly. But we are blessed with a beautiful blue sky and a fantastic setting here at the Howell Athletic Center, and that's been really a wonderful venue for these games. Scrum down for Air Force. Isaiah Seals gets it out quickly. Hume is just setting up his weapons back and forth, working with Norris. Out wide, Will Taylor. Now we're cutting back. Slow ball coming out of that ruck. Certainly Southern Virginia wants that. Another counter ruck coming flying in. That was Roka Tuiviwa, and it worked.
Yeah, that was great pressure from Virginia. Air Force had a great play out to the edge. That's what they're doing off that scrum, and they made adjustments, and now they know that they're going to play wide this half. So Air Force is going to need to make some changes as well and bring something new.
We talk about slowing the ball down.
Yes.
Some of that stuff you're not allowed to do. Some of it you try to get away with. What are some of the secrets?
You got to test the waters. But again, nothing's stopping you from hitting a ruck that's formed.
Yeah.
You just can't put your hands in. And if you drive that man past the ball, you win that possession of that ball. So it's whoever wins the fight over it. That's what matters.
Tons of tiny little battles throughout a rugby game. And this game certainly has had its share. Once again, lineouts, a lot of lineouts in this game. And Southern Virginia is still going for the lineout on the penalty. They're winning some, they're not winning some others. This one, they've taken quite nicely. Good, solid win for their Isaiah. Now lost it up, getting it to Sione Tokelau. And a little bit of a loop move, didn't quite work. Good chase again. And Air Force is very good at going quickly.
Colt Staub with the steal on the breakdown.
And they had a penalty advantage, and they're breaking through. Still going. The tackle is there. Once again, kind of slow to roll away. And the ball comes back inside. think that was right. Hume now.
Virginia bringing a lot of physicality in these tackles to start off the half.
Norris had to fall to catch that one. But Air Force still has the ball. Once again, things slowing down with the counter ruck. Out to Schlund. Hume now. Try to set up, try to link that one with Figard. But that ball went loose, and Southern Virginia has got it back. And a knock on. We saw a couple of advantages played throughout that, and we see the advantage call. That works because Air Force gained an advantage.
Yes.
And you know, so we got to play.
Yes. Yeah, the ref wants the boys to play, you know, and you can see that. He's giving them their chances, and he's doing a great job of, you know, keeping the fluidity of the game going. But in this instance, just too much back and forth. Got to stop it and set the scrum.
Joshua Hill-Garvin to put in for Southern Virginia. Still a very young team, SVU. A young program, in fact. And you will see, actually, Southern Virginia is a Latter-day Saints school, Mormon school, and so you will see a lot of players coming in there from Utah.
Yeah.
Program started by David Smith, who coached at BYU for so many years, and he's the director of rugby there. Overseeing the program, as we said, with Marshall Ferris, the head coach. Good, solid scrum for Southern Virginia. Isaiah now looking to use Rokatuviwa. And then Jones, and he loves to do that little chip. He runs it, and that worked for him. Oh, he almost picked it up. He almost had it. It was there. The loose ball was right there on a platter, and if he just slowed down, maybe. But referee says play on. Skylon Felatoa, the number 8. Now Isaiah. Oh, the chip wide. It's there. Weston Mehmet, it was there.
Weston can do it all.
He's not quite able to get the handle, but he was on the wing, and they're going to call back. And what is the call here?
I believe a knock on.
You're going to get the knock on. Yes, yeah. Knock on here. And but the vision from Melepone Isaiah to see that.
That's every hooker's dream, to stay on the wing and catch a cross kick and score a try. I'll tell you that much. You know, those opportunities do not come often, especially for a front row.
You get there are those dreams. You would wake up and you had a dream that there it was. There it was.
This is a tough position for Air Force to be in.
And interestingly, on defense now, Isaiah is in the halfback position with Hill-Garvin as the standoff. But there's a penalty against Southern Virginia for boring in. Now, if you're relatively new to the game, you're watching this, when you have a scrum, both scrums have to drive straight. They can't angle in. You can't have a front rower angle in and try to use that as an advantage to split apart the scrum. So ideally, everybody is driving straight, except, of course, naturally, the way the scrums come together, it naturally wheels around. So.
Yeah. A lot of it also, I believe, is for the general safety of the players. It's, everyone's binded up in there. You want it to be as safe as possible.
Going wide again to get out of their trouble is Air Force, and they're getting it wide out to Taylor. Back again, looking to stretch Southern Virginia, trying to go sideline to sideline. Beasley.
Virginia's doing a good job of just waiting for them to come back to the sideline, really, and not using so many defenders into the ruck. So Air Force needs to adapt their game plan.
Kensiker taking it into contact. Once again, Hume trying to direct traffic back there. And the counter rucking is forcing Air Force to send more players into that ruck. Right. Good cut back from him. Setting it up, Kensinger. Good low run from the lock forward. Seals now, thinking about that box kick. It is very slow going for Air Force. They like to play fast. And there's the box kick, the chase. And that is knocked forward by SVU. Air Force will take that. Hume now, he's got a couple of options. Looking to connect with Norris. Norris was in front of him though. And it will be a knock-on, so we'll go back to the original knock-on off the kick.
Yeah, that was a great box kick by Seals. That's the whole point of box kick, is to put pressure on the other team and hopefully force a turnover or a mistake so they can gain possession and just gain territory. So, you know, their plan worked in the essence of exiting.
Isaiah Seals is a cyber science major and is looking to get a master's degree and become an intelligence officer in the Air Force.
Wow.
His favorite player is Faf de Klerk.
Really?
Yeah.
As a 9?
Yeah.
Faf de Klerk, amazing, amazing rugby player.
And there we go, quickly wide. They're looking to go wide again. That one a little bit sloppy. Taylor rescues it. He does very well. Get out of trouble there.
The shake and bake. Spin moves.
Hume again. Look, Hume just looks very comfortable at number 10.
Yeah.
Understanding what needs to be done. And there's the interception. It was actually just served up. And Joshua Hill-Garvin on a risky, kind of a risky flat pass, goes into the corner. And there, we get a big turnaround, momentum shift. Southern Virginia has done the thing that you always want. They scored right before halftime and have scored after halftime for the first score after halftime. Joshua Hill-Garvin going in, nabbing that ball into the corner.
Virginia had the lead first, then it was Air Force. Now we're back to Virginia. A lot of lead changes here in this game so far, and I'm expecting more.
And they had Hill-Garvin defending out in the back line as a winger. But he just read that the whole way.
And he capitalized too. Great heads-up play from him.
Zachary Jones looking to get his third conversion. This is a tough angle for him. Jones from Sherwood, Oregon. And played with the Beaverton Barbarians. A really good program out there in Rugby, Oregon. Taking his time just to line it up. But remember, kickers do have a clock on them.
Yeah.
And that one skies away a little bit to the right.
Yeah.
So we will stay at 24-21, still on a knife edge. A penalty goal or a drop goal will tie it up. And then what do we see here, Sam?
Yeah. He pulls back to the edge. He reads his head movement. He's only defending one guy, you know, so if you get that pass and he has his other guys to back up, he can make that risk.
And well taken there by SVU. And they're on the front foot again.
Yeah. It's important Air Force changes the momentum.
Well taken kick. And now what can... well, that kick is charged down. Then kicked ahead. I'm not quite sure why. Faupusa has it. Faupusa's not going to kick it. Offside off that kick by Air Force. Tapped quickly. Now Key goes into contact. Southern Virginia now attacking inside Air Force at 22. A penalty against Air Force. A little bit of frustration there. I think they thought they were going to be doing something and instead they're backpedaling and giving up penalties. And you see, when he made that signal, hey, I'm going to go wide, and there he's offside. And that was... was
that Anderson?
That was Anderson. Anderson thought that maybe he could set something up.
He just had the ball in his hand a little bit too long. He was signaling the kick, and Virginia noticed and put pressure on him and stopped it.
Little sidestep from Finn Bradshaw. Isaiah now. Said, oh, there's another interception! This one, can he go all the way?
Cole Norris.
The chase is on Cole Norris. No problem, the dive.
To the house. 2 interceptions back to back.
Wow!
Another lead change.
We said back and forth. That one was, and he was gone for all money once he had it.
Yeah.
Nobody was anywhere near, and they thought they had that try.
Yeah, he turned on the Jets. And now Air Force has the lead.
Cole Norris from Des Moines, Iowa.
A game of momentum.
His player he loves is Rico Iwani. So maybe trying to channel his energy just a little bit. But right there, and that's a momentum shift. Southern Virginia had them under pressure.
Yeah.
Now Sam, does this, I mean, do you feel this when something like that happens, you're scoring, and you give up an interception? How difficult is it to just push that aside?
Air Force just really needed that. You know, they had that interception, and then Virginia was creeping in. The Air Force committed back-to-back penalties. I was expecting Virginia to score again, and that completely saved them and actually brought them back into the lead. So great heads-up play.
And here it is. The kick is good, and there's the interception. Oh, it's just right into his hands.
Just usually with those skip passes, they're a lot easier to read, a lot easier to steal.
Yeah.
He skips over that defender, and he can actually, you can use an extra man. You really can. So that's exactly what happened, and Air Force scores.
Tell you what, we humans have evolved to track things in the air and throw rocks at them to knock them out so we can make dinner. So, yeah, the ball is loose again. Kicked ahead. That was an opportunity maybe there for Tokelau. He thought it was there.
Great pressure from Virginia, though, to start after an interception try.
That's a good clearance kick from Anderson. Griffin Anderson has had a pretty good game there. That charge down aside, systems engineering major. And he has been selected. He's class of 2025. He's not just wants to become a pilot. He's been selected to track as a pilot. So congratulations
that's
to
amazing.
Griffin.
Bit
Long
overthrown.
throw. Nabbed very nicely by Ethan Schlunt. A very opportunistic lock forward they have there. Lucky to have him. Quickly again. Now there's space. Can he make the final pass? The pass is there. Good cover defense from Southern Virginia. Back comes Air Force. Just setting themselves up. Once again, Southern Virginia's got to be careful. Norris, and that one's a knock forward. And that will be a accidental knock forward.
Yeah. He made a somewhat attempt to tackle, and it hit his hand.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the intentional knock-on law in how it's applied. I think they're a little bit harsh on that, so I'm totally fine with that being accidental.
Yeah.
But it did seem like he was coming in to try to make a tackle.
I think usually when an intentional knock happens, the team has just an obvious advantage to a point where there might even be a score or a complete momentum shift. So you might not like it. Sometimes I agree with it.
Yeah. I just want it to be obvious.
Yeah, of course.
I just want it to be obvious.
Of course.
Hume now. Good flat pass. Straight through.
Great pace.
And the offload is there. Air Force now right down at the line.
That was Micah Figard. And a turnover.
And the ball just squirts out of that ruck. Good kick downfield. All kinds of issues there. But Seals a little kick ahead now, kicking back. I think the kick back and forth is something Southern Virginia doesn't really enjoy. Baldy does very well to keep that ball in field. And we are going back and forth again. This is just non-stop action here in the Hub City Ball. What a big tackle there.
Phenomenal tackle from Kensinger.
And Thomas Kensinger, the lock forward from LA.
Civil engineering. And his career goals kill the bad guys.
Well, that really is the upshot, isn't it? The kick there does not go into touch. Gathered nicely by Brady Burris. And he's running across the field. Got to be careful there. But yes, they're still moving it. Air Force now turns north-south.
Stripped again.
Southern Virginia very aggressive in trying to get that ball back. We are coming close to the second half hydration break. 28-24, 20 minutes to go. Semi-box kick fielded by Anderson, tackled, a good open field tackle from Hill Garvin, who's had a really good game. Scrum half and sometimes something else for Southern Virginia. Oh, good powerful run. And once again, charge ahead. Wright does well to hold on to that ball. Hume looking to use his support. Anderson going into contact. Oh, a little bit isolated. They've got trouble there. Moritz does well. Does well to recycle that. Air Force moving the ball, but not really going anywhere. That was
great play.
And a cut through. Lambert still running. He's got Jones to beat, and he beats him with a sidestep and a fend.
What a play from the number 8.
Straight out of the top drawer.
That's his second one on the day.
Cody Lambert, that one, we thought the first one was quite a run.
Yeah.
That one, crazy time.
Opened up his stride, little move at the end from the big man. That's what you want to see out of your loose forwards.
Is that your move? Did he learn that from you? That's...
I don't know.
Maybe we haven't seen too many open field runs from Sam Gall. I've
had a couple,
you're
but you know.
a grafter.
Yeah.
Right, and a hitter and a jackler, but that was a nice little. He had a decision. I don't know. I felt like he made a specific decision. I'm going to put a move on him and fend him. And
yeah. No, he did great.
And that makes it 33-24. And the kick is good, and that will make it 35-24. And we are going to a hydration break here, and we're going to take a little step away, and we will be back in a couple of minutes for the last 20 minutes of this Hub City Bowl.
Rugby is a sport where teamwork truly makes the difference. In alignment with the values of rugby, Globant and Major League Rugby join forces in a powerful innovation scrum that aims to elevate the sport using the latest technologies. We are already co-creating digital solutions to impact the game, the fans, and the global community in a sustainable way. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
It's time to hit.
It's time to pass.
It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
Gainline, the official sports management partner of the College Rugby Association of America. Gainline, a testament to the power of leadership, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Well, we had a situation, such a close game, and then Southern Virginia.
Great play.
And a cut through. Lambert still. And we had this, Sam.
Yeah, you know, number 8, Lambert, breaking the line, using a move, getting the fend. That's what you want out of your loose forwards right there. Good to see him. That's his second one of the day, and his first one was arguably as good.
Yes. Really good open field running from Lambert. And he was a football player before, as we said. Everybody here has learned their rugby once they arrived at the Air Force Academy. They do get a couple of players with high school experience, but on this trip out here to South Carolina, these are all crossover athletes. And you know, they are their attention to detail is impressive.
Andy
Southern
Falpusa,
Virginia
again.
Go for the short one, and they're stopped, but there is a penalty. And Air Force has been guilty of too many penalties in the red zone before, and that one just a little bit not close to the mark. So they're going to go again. They will tap it. Falpusa taken down. Tackling from Air Force. And certainly not flinching away from that. And a turnover.
And a block kick.
And that will end up being passed back into in goal and then blocked dead. So we're going to go back to a 5-meter scrum because it was passed back in.
That was great pressure from Southern Virginia. Fantastic. And to chase down the kick, Air Force is already under pressure to get that kick out. And then now they have a scrum. They turned a defense opportunity into an attacking opportunity right there.
Very nicely done. I didn't see who made that block, but it was certainly a heads-up play, and it's a brave play because that thing's coming rocketing to your face.
Yeah.
Scrum down. Joshua Hill-Garvin putting that in. He's got Sky Felatoa at the back. And they've got a play set up. Bradshaw and Roka Tuiviwa in a little formation here. And they will go with the 8-man pick. After all of that, everybody's worried about the backs. And Sky Felatoa, the freshman, with the 8-man pick to the right.
I think the 9 tricked. I think Hill-Garvin tricked Air Force around the edge, and then
pretended
the number 8, Felatoa, took it in.
Sky Felatoa, who is just been, it was an outstanding player last year in high school, playing for Woodlands in Texas. Loves Jonah Lamu. And I remember talking to him at high school nationals, where he helped Woodlands get to the national high school club final. And just a huge part of their effort. One of the very best high school teams in the country last year. Certainly one of the very best high school clubs there. And just a youngster. That's a player you can build a program around.
Absolutely. Coming in young, he's going to be there for a long time. You know, works on his leadership skills. He'll be a phenomenal player in the years to come.
Jones got a little bit under it, and so that didn't quite go over. And so it's 29 points for Southern Virginia. It's 35 for Air Force.
So right here, 9 looks like he's going to take it around, and 8 picks it from the side.
So everything was a decoy.
There you go.
The backs of the decoy, scrum half decoy, everything opening up for Felatoa to be able to get it in. I knew I picked that up. That's right.
They can't fool me.
Very impressive. Southern Virginia now still certainly in with a shot.
Oh.
And the kick deep. The difference, actually, in the end, right now, the difference is conversions.
It is conversions.
Yeah.
You know.
Griffin Anderson's been perfect, 5 for 5. And Jones, I mean, most of those kicks for Jones have been difficult kicks.
Yeah, they have. A lot of Air Force's tries have been very close to the posts. Yeah. But Southern Virginia does need a converted try to take the lead.
And we have a player down. Actually, it's Jones. We were just talking about Jones. And he's had a good game. And then we have another player down, one of the Air Force players. So we will check on that as the teams huddle up a little bit while they deal with an injury. And, you know, Sam, one of the things about, you know, when a team gives up a momentum-shifting try, like an interception, whatever it is, and you're under the posts, what do you want to hear from a captain, or what do you want to say when you're under the post having done something like that?
As a player that's like not in a leading position, like a captaincy position, I'd want to hear kind of what the next step is. You know, we need a next job. But as a captain, as a leader, you want to make sure everyone is focused and has the right intention to go do the same thing the next time. You know, so what I always say is, what's the next job? Our next job is to kick off and apply pressure and hopefully get the ball back. Again, just giving someone something to think about is important, and especially it's getting to those minutes in the game where guys are tired. You can't talk too much.
Right.
You can't overload their brain with information. You got to make it simple, keep it simple, and have a direct goal and intention at mind so that guys can follow.
Give them here's a task.
Yes.
Here's a task. Let's take that task.
Yeah.
That's good. I was at a tournament last year where it was a high school tournament. A player made a mistake.
Yeah.
And somebody ran in ran in a try against them. They got onto the post, and I was nearby, and they said, "Hey, look, it's not your fault." And he just turned to them and said, "How is it not my fault?"
Yeah.
And players do feel bad, right?
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, sometimes I see, you know, players go up and just like, "Hey, it's okay, it's cool." But I wonder sometimes it's like, sometimes they just want to be left alone.
Yeah. Also, you know, addressing it instantly and just forgetting about it. The next job. Yeah. I'll tell someone you made a mistake, but it's time to forget, and I need something out of you to come back with that.
Right.
And some players like that, again, you got to know your players too if you're in a position of leadership.
Right.
So.
Right. That's good. Well, injured player unfortunately taken off the field. He is upright but injured, and there's a replacement on the field for Air Force, and we are back into the action. Just about 12 minutes left in this game. Isaiah takes that pass from Hill Garvin, just taking it up himself, which we haven't seen a lot of. Hill Garvin again. Out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw working with Jones. Hill Garvin digs it out. Tokelau.
I feel like Tokelau's made a great impact in this game.
Falpusa, and then the backhanded pass that's going to go forward. A little bit of too much dipsy doodle there from Melipone Isaiah.
Yeah. You know, when you're down like that, hold on to the ball or make a calculated pass. You want to keep possession right now and give your team an opportunity to score. You don't want to toss that ball away.
Well, we've been talking about that whole thing about keeping it simple, and we've seen that ebb and flow with Southern Virginia. When they do keep it simple and a little bit more direct, they do well.
Yeah.
And Line out. Good take from Air Force. Norris. Norris has been active. Once again looking to press on the edge. Burris. Burris does well to stay in field. Hume is right. Hume again. Norris again. Wide pass. They have numbers, but it was really well stifled by the quick line speed from Southern Virginia. Both teams still working hard. One would expect Air Force to finish a little bit stronger, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, that good catch pass.
Yeah.
And that was taken by Schluntz, was it?
Kensinger.
Kensinger.
Yep.
One of the bigger guys. The bigger guys all look alike to me. Norris sells a dummy. Very nicely done. Taken, takes 2 men to take him down. Tackle by Key. Once again, going straight into it. Another straight ahead run. Moritz and Wright getting involved. Hume now. Setting it up with Kensinger with the tips pass. They've lost that ball and Southern Virginia has it. They'll want to use that. Couple of hits. Adrian Ogo managing to stay alive. Another pick and go. Southern Virginia assessing their options. Isaiah just a little bit slow, and out there Faupusa and Howard.
I thought he's had a great game.
He has a good.
I really have. For a number 1, with 9 minutes left, he's kept his work rate up the whole time.
He really has.
Yeah.
Seems to jump, but that was a loose pass from someone, and Air Force now has it, and maybe might think about putting boot to ball and pinning Southern Virginia down, but neither team really wants to do that. They want to run with it. There's a breakthrough.
And there you go.
And that's why Norris once again testing defenses. We were talking about the option, maybe trying to pick a player of the game. There are a lot of candidates in this game.
Yeah. I thought Norris and Lambert have had outstanding games.
They certainly
today.
have.
Yeah.
And there's a fake. We haven't seen Hume run with it much. And he's going to pick his spots. Once again going Howard, excuse me, right, Moritz going in with it, the prop forward. Slow going coming out of there. Referee's going to call that up and trying to poach that ball, trying to jackal that ball. Southern Virginia, they knocked it forward. That does happen occasionally, just trying to scramble for it.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's risky. You're playing with fire, but they do need a turnover. They need to get that ball. Air Force is putting pressure on them. They need to gain possession and get it to the other end of the field so they can get some points.
Of the bad outcomes, a knock-on, not terrible for them, but
yeah, I think standout players for sure would be the number 8 and 13. Lambert and Norris have been across the park.
And Southern Virginia, we talked about Andy Faupusa. Joshua Hill-Garvin, the scrum half, I thought has done very well in some tough circumstances. And penalty, a great shove from that eight-man forward pack from Southern Virginia. They get the penalty. That's something they definitely wanted. So they'll certainly take that knock-on if they are able to get the penalty.
They've had a strong scrum all day. You know, it's important that they use that to their advantage. Lineout's been lacking. Air Force put pressure, but they can keep scrumming, stay consistent.
That's all right. 35-29, it is a 6-point game. A converted try from Southern Virginia puts them in the lead by 1 point. They certainly are able to. Faupusa at the front goes forward, manages to keep that ball back inside, offloads it so he's not taken into touch. And Southern Virginia, once again, goes back to what works for them, which is direct, hard running. Tokelau through. One more to beat. And he ran over him, but he did lose the ball, and that was Anderson. And Griffin Anderson, the number of that bus was 19, just to let you know. And off they go.
What an offload.
Now maybe, just one step onto touch. Brady Burris trying to break through and just nudged to touch. And we thought we were going to see a try right onto the post.
I thought we were going to see a bump off and then a try under the post. But, you know, when you lead with the ball in hand for that bump off, it makes it difficult, and you always risk losing that ball every time you gotta go for that play. So, but a lot of power there.
A lot of power.
A lot of power. I'd hate to be on the receiving end of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, kudos to Griffin Anderson for staying in there. And he'll record it as a thundering tackle. And it kind of was.
A tackle with a turnover.
Yeah, that's true. It was it's a forced turnover.
Forced turnover.
Another big line out. Southern Virginia putting everybody and a couple more, it seems, into that line out. And that is stolen. Stolen by Air Force.
I think Kensinger's also had an amazing game,
Yeah, he certainly has.
Just as a lock with great work rate. And, you know, I might be biased. I might be biased.
I love to celebrate a Type 5 player for sure.
Yeah.
They went wide very nicely, did Air Force. And now, as we tick below the 5-minute mark left, they have to be thinking about field position.
Yes.
That was Kensinger again.
There goes the big man.
And
still
he's
going.
Still going. Taken down and well supported once again. Hume, nobody thinking about putting boot to ball. They are putting the ball through the hands. And there, David Wright. Good fend off by Wright, but there's a loose ball. Isaiah has picked it up. We knew it was going to be all over the place. Cutting back, Zach Cummings. Cummings taken down. Little bit of off the ball stuff. The referee has told them to sort it out. Carson Howard, I'm not sure what he was working on there, but the ball has come on the Air Force side. Now what can they do? This is it out of broken play. This could be the one that seals the game. Try for Air Force.
No.
Picking it up out of nowhere, Micah Figard. And the center, Figard, actually, I should say Figard, Micah Figard, who wants to be a combat rescue pilot and certainly rescued something there because the ball was just flying around.
Yeah.
Not exactly structured play.
That's, in my opinion, that might be the nail in the coffin there. You know, Virginia really needed to score in those last 5 minutes, and Air Force was just putting a lot of pressure on attack and scored one right under the post.
Yes.
You know, a converted try. So, you know, Virginia's under a ton of pressure. They're going to need to pull something out of the hat to get the lead back.
We had a turnover and then another turnover. The ball's rolling around. Micah Figard just comes in and scoops it up, makes a little bit of a move, cuts through. The kick is good. We knew that was probably going to happen. And it is 42-29. And if we get a look at this, we see a good turn of pace. And there.
So turnover ball. And then great move by Figard.
And Michael Figard there, and he has a good turn of pace. Look at that. There, the ball is just rolling around.
He just makes these defenders miss, changes direction. 1, 2, and then he's gone. He burns them on the outside. It was a great play.
Puts it
with the slam down.
With the slam down. Well, he knows how important that is because that makes it a 2-score game. And now with less than 2 minutes to go, and a restart error from Southern Virginia. We've got scrum center and
Air Force ball.
Yeah. So it has been a good number.
No, it was 13, I think. 13, yeah. Someone just came up and wrote it.
And a penalty, Southern Virginia's got to go with it, and trying to drive through and get anything out of this.
Yeah.
They need 2 converted tries within the space of maybe a minute. It's possible they are capable of doing it, but you think about some of the lost opportunities.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was that wide kick. That was the one that really maybe could have been really good for them, but they did score some really good tries. That the momentum shifting tries for Southern Virginia, and then they gave them up as well.
Yeah, I mean, they just, at this point, leaving with a score is what they're aiming for. They have possession, you know, so just ending on a high note for them is the best part possible. A moral victory is one would say.
And they're certainly playing all the way through and tapping once again. And here we go. This would be Tony Veimau back out once again. Tolitau, pass to the outside. Try for Southern Virginia. And why not?
I believe that was Abraham Malam.
And Abraham
hitting
Malam
the ball with
going
pace.
in there. Biochemistry major, looking to be a nurse. Tough work. And to get into nursing, and he is going in there, scoring in the corner. They can't spend too much time, and the question is there time for the restart?
Do they have 1 play left?
And that's a bit of a line drive kick away to the left, and that is it. But that is your ball game, 42-34. Not quite the 100 points I thought there would be, but there were 76 points, several lead changes. Sam Gala, you lucked out with a pretty good game in your first outing.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. That was everything I wanted it to be. High-scoring rugby, back and forth, competitive, physical. You know, you had everything in this game, and I'm proud of the boys for their effort. It was a great game.
What do you think the difference was? I mean, ultimately for Air Force.
I think Air Force just played a more structured game, and they put Virginia under a lot more pressure at the line-out set piece. Virginia put more pressure at the scrum, but not enough to kind of outweigh that. And so they just took away that part of the game, and they shipped the ball wide more. They played more rugby, in my opinion, more hands.
And we saw a lot of line-outs, so that line-out situation was important.
Aiden Beasley just took all of Southern Virginia's ball at the line-out. They kind of took it away, so then they had to start running. The zeros was just a throw to the front, no jump, and thought Air Force did a great job of just capitalizing on that big advantage.
Meanwhile, we saw some impressive rugby from Southern Virginia. Their power up front was certainly impressive, and they had a chance to win this.
There's a lot of potential on that team, a lot of physical, strong ball carriers, you know, and I thought they played a very physical game. I thought they came out of the gates running. They just need to keep that pace for 80 minutes. They kind of let that get away from them towards the end.
Right.
But again, great effort from them. I thought Fapusa, for a number 1, had incredible work rate. Same with Weston Memmott, the number 2 from Virginia, so they did fantastic. But
it is, as we see the Air Force players coming in, they're going to be getting a trophy here, but thanking their fans. There's a lot of fans here seeing them, and you know what, I'm going to say the Air Force Academy comes to these bowl games all the time. They are searching for this championship, and there they are celebrating, receiving the trophy, the Hub City Bowl, and a very exciting style of rugby that they were showing us. And we had, Cody Lambert with a couple of great open field tries. We saw Griffin Anderson didn't miss.
No,
6 for 6 on the conversions.
Amazing. Yeah.
And that's a huge benefit when you're trying to maintain a lead in a close game, right?
Those kicks add up. As someone has lost many games to kicks, and won them.
Yeah.
It's just so important to get those points, and that helped them in the long run.
Well, we have a player of the game that we will be getting to talk to in a minute, and it's Cole Norris, the inside center, wearing number 13, but the inside center for Air Force Academy. We talked about that there were a number of players who stood out. We mentioned Cody Lambert, who was very, very good. I thought David Wright, the loose head prop, got very active, especially in the second half.
Oh, for sure.
You mentioned Thomas Kensinger. Didn't score a try, but did almost everything else.
Yeah, I thought his work rate around the park was...
And wow, yeah, he did superbly well. But we are now down talking with Cole Norris, our player of the game. And Cole, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Well, congratulations on the win. Let me tell you, what was that game like? I mean, it was momentum shifts back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
What was the emotion going with you guys dealing with it?
Well, yeah, it was just great. I mean, they played a hell of a game. Just a lot of back and forth, which is honestly super exciting to play in. They scored, we scored. Like, it wasn't like a one-sided either way. So just like keeping emotions in check, but then also celebrating when we have great plays to build momentum and keep going. It was great.
That's great. You work really well with Kyle Hume, your fly half. Who I thought was a very unselfish player, likes to use
100%.
his weapons. What did he do to help you guys get where you are today?
Yeah, well, he just like fixed it inside defender and then get rid of the ball quickly, so I could have time to look up and make a decision, which was really helpful. Just as I'm building confidence with Micah Frigard, our outside center, and then also Kyle, just making decisions and playing together as a unit.
And I'm here with Eagle Sam Gala, and Sam was talking about what Aiden Beasley did in the lineout, stealing lineout for you. Thomas Kensinger getting go forward. So tell me a little bit about some of your big guys.
Oh yeah, they keep working so hard, and like you said, they win those lineouts, so it makes it so much easier for us as backs to obviously not have to defend as much, which is nice, but then also just, that builds so much space because the defense is coming up so late that we're able to, find those holes and really make use of that. So it was very nice.
Well, a lot of good performances, Cole. You're our player of the game. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And great to see you guys come out and perform so well.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on winning the Hub City Bowl.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Well, all right. There he goes. He's got a trophy. He's pretty happy about that, and happy to give credit to his teammates. And thank you so much, Sam. Great job. So much fun, and thanks for watching. And just to tell you fans, today's broadcast was granted by the College Rugby Association of America and the Rugby Network. Any use or rebroadcast requires the written consent of the CRAA and TRN. For my partner Sam Gala and our entire DNA Studios production team, I'm Alex Goff. Thanks for watching.